Hey everyone, today we will look at how I move information from Tana to Heptabase and vice versa. I'm doing this video also based on some comments I got on one of the recent videos, especially this one. Can you do a video showing an example of moving something from Tana to Heptabase? Because I mentioned in the videos that we are using Tana for shallow thinking and Heptabase for deep thinking. This could now mean for many people out there we need to duplicate information and things like that. It's much easier than you think, and that's what I will show you in this video. Well, there was a lot of rambling, but now without further ado, let's dive into how I move information from Tana to Heptabase and make sense of it. Let's go.
Paperless movement, your productivity, your way.
Alright, here we are inside Tana, and as I mentioned in another video already, Tana is used for us as a shallow thinking system. Shallow thinking means, for example, meeting notes. When I am in a meeting, I can just go to my today page instantly and start writing all the insights that I get. We are in the personal knowledge management space. This is not shared with the team. We differentiate between personal knowledge management and business knowledge management. Business knowledge management, for example, is ClickUp, where we share information with the team. And here we are just in my personal area where I just take notes that I need to access later. So I have a meeting with Tom Solid. All right. Solid. I showed you already in another video how you can quickly add these super tags. Now I made this a meeting note. I can actually remove this and pick Tom Solid from my person database, okay? And I give it context immediately this way. I can then open this up, and now you see I have additional fields. I can quickly fill in meeting minutes there. I can say who else was attending. Let's say Paco was attending as well, right? I can add the meeting recording, and I have then all the access. This is what makes it a shallow thinking, fast capture tool. That's something it's not so fluent in Heptabase. And that's one of the reasons why Heptabase is not used in my case for meeting minutes, for taking notes, because during a day I will take a lot of notes there, and then this is it. First of all, I have the context of the journal. So whenever I think, I forgot something, what was this again? I will go back to the date where I had this meeting, for example, and I would find this meeting. I can also go to meeting and I will find my database with all the meetings. But now let's say I have something in this meeting where I take additional notes and I say new business idea, okay? Launching a restaurant. That's it, new business idea. Now I could hashtag this business idea. See, that's not even existing, but I can hashtag this, and then I would have a database with all my business ideas. So safe and sound, whenever I need some inspiration to do something new because I have time, I can go to business ideas and I will find this. This being said, so after the meeting, let's say, okay, that's something I really want to follow up. I would then maybe take this out of here. I can indent this, and now it's no longer part of the meeting. It's just something I've written down in here, no problem at all. And now let's expand on writing down there. So what I can do in Tana, I zoom in there, and now I'm just having a blank canvas talking about a business idea. I can even close the sidebar here, and now I can really think about this business idea. That's the first step into the deep thinking area. And you see then when we hit the wall, that's the moment when we move into Heptabase. So what is this restaurant all about? Okay, what food? I don't know. Italian food. So what would be on the menu? Menu would be, I don't know, typical things, pasta, okay. So then location, Germany, I don't know, Hamburg, all right. I could enrich this again. That's where we can actually say city, boom. Now I have the city Hamburg, and here I can say country, and we have already Germany. So instead of doing this, I can say Germany. And there we go. And if I go to Germany, I see now 5 references, and now I see all the notes. And one is the daily notes where I just have written down Hamburg. All right. This is where this becomes pretty powerful. And then I think about interior design. Okay. Brand colors, and I come up with the brand actually, and I say red, green, white. Okay, makes all the sense in an Italian restaurant. But then I could move this out, and this is where I can move things around, and I say wooden furniture, right? Table, chair, all this. I can very quickly organize this way and move things around, and then I can also close these things in order to have the bird's eye view, and then I can move these things around. And well, this is the first step. But now let's say I want to go deeper into this. I'm really serious about building this out, and I want to add images, and well, I could add images there, but I need a horizontal view now. I need to bring this to a whiteboard, and that's where Heptabase comes into play. So what we do, we go now to Heptabase, and in Heptabase I have the My Life concept that I showed in another video. And in here, I have my topics, key elements, my projects. If you don't know what this is, I will link to a video in the description below where I talk about the capturing beast, where I explain how you can set up, based on the ICOR methodology, any note-taking system or PKM system. So you instantly know where to place your information, and then to instantly also know where to retrieve it again. So in this case, let's say it's still a topic. So it's not something I want to dive too deep into, but let's create a whiteboard about this and say, here, my Italian restaurant, as we already decided it will be this way. And now I want to get started. So I also add a card, maybe Italian restaurant, okay? And here I go back to Tana, and I will copy the link to this node. And I say here, first thoughts or outline or whatever, this is this. To make it look more fancy, first thoughts, you can highlight this and then copy the link, and it will just make this the link. So now I connected it to this, but I can also now copy the URL from the whiteboard, go back to Tana, and then just make the node going deeper in Heptabase, and therefore I can paste the link there, but also I can select this and give it the link there. Okay, so now I have it here. Obviously there was a typo there, and when I click there, it will open up my whiteboard directly. And here I have the other way around. I connected now the different tools. I'm not copying this over, so I have always two displays. There's a reason why we are using two monitors. It's highly efficient to have one app open on one and the other. In order to demonstrate this, I will just open up another window. And now let's see, I can actually bring these together next to each other. And here we will open up Heptabase. And there we go, we can make this even smaller. And now I can perfectly work this way, okay? Here's my Tana and here is my Italian restaurant. So I can now think about what is it that I want to dive deeper. I could now either select everything and then copy it over if you really want to have it there, you know, expand on this, expand this, and then copy it over. If you really want to see, it's perfectly coming in this way. So, but that's not something I would do. I would then really start thinking about something special. So let's say the furniture, all right? So let's look for Italian furniture, okay? Boom, images, and let's get some inspiration, or you go to Pinterest or whatever. I can now simply copy the image, go over here and import this. I will just copy paste it by copy image here and then Command V to paste it in here. So next one, copy image, going over, next one. I can also pick this, drag and drop it into here, and you see this works even easier. And now I have these things and I think, okay, well, that's actually some inspiration. I could work with this. Now I can select this and give it a section and say royal design, whatever. And now I have this section here. I can move the whole thing around. And now I can say restaurant, Italian furniture. Let's see what comes up here. Okay, let's use this and let's use this. You see, that's something I wouldn't do in Tana. I cannot freely move the things around. I would have always a sequential order, but now I can have this just next to each other and start comparing it and say, okay, well, that's the classic design. Now I can compare these two and start thinking, well, is it really worth it using this? Maybe I ask ChatGPT and say, okay, what type of wood is best for an Italian restaurant? Okay, and then I get an answer. Well, that will be a lengthy one. Boom, now I get all this. Let's select this or copy it down there. And then I click in here. Boom, I can just paste it in here. I have it next to this. And whenever I think, okay, that's becoming too full, I right click and I can turn this into a card. And now we have a card and I can open up the card and now think just about this and say, okay, Italian furniture. And I can also then mention my whiteboard where I say my Italian restaurant, that's the card. Italian cooking, that's something I do here. Italian restaurant, but I just saw it, Italian cooking. And let's add this here as well. Boom. So I can click here, boom. Now it zooms in here and I'm directly there. I can click on Italian cooking, boom. Now we go to my whiteboard where I saved the recipe. I can go back to cooking skills and there you see I'm much more into Asian cooking actually. And when you go here, you see other recipes that I just saved there. And it's just saving over time these things. The key is now I have a perfect idea where I need to go to. And then I think, okay, this is not a topic. So let's say, you know, then I go back to my topics and I think, no, that's not something that I actually just shallow. I really want to go really deep now. So that's the moment where then I would move this to key elements. Boom, it's out of the topics. It moved instantly to my key elements. And here's the Italian restaurant. I think it's another business then. You see here's the paperless movement. Let's say that's really another business I want to start. And this is what makes it then more serious to work in. I can then even go to my projects. And here I can now link to whiteboard and say Italian restaurant. And now we have a link to this whiteboard. There I go immediately to the whiteboard that I opened up there. And then I have a lot of other advantages. Imagine that this whiteboard becomes really big. You have then on navigation. So you remember I created these sections. Now I can click on this. It will zoom to the different sections. And many other things that you learn in the Heptabase beginners course that you have also on this YouTube channel if you want to check it out. I hope this gave you an idea when the moment comes where shallow thinking moves into deep thinking. And the reason why we're separating the systems is really that we are not cluttering up the deep thinking system where we really focus on projects and dive deep into concepts and things like that with shallow thinking. Even before Tana, there's the Reader app, the Reader Read Later app, something that I mentioned also in the other video, which is a shallow thinking if you like. This is really to just capture quickly something. If you watch a video and you think this is interesting, you have the feeling, maybe I need to save it somewhere. Instead of going to Tana and try to place it somewhere, I just throw it into Reader and maybe I don't need it at all anymore again. But if so, I'm at least safe and sound that I saved it there and I will find it in Reader as well. So if you want to watch another video where I show you how to move things from Reader into Tana, which is the first step before what I showed you here. If you want to see another video where I actually move things from Reader into Tana or even from Reader into Heptabase, let me know in the comments below. Happy to make a follow-up video on this. If you liked what I shared there, if you think this was more like it, that I show the tools this way, let me also know in the comments below. Give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel so I can catch you up next time.